Thanks for staying with us. The Israeli government is moving forward with its plans to deport about 40,000 African migrant workers who illegally crossed into the country years ago through the southern Egyptian border. The overwhelming majority of these migrants come from Ethiopia, Sudan, and Eritrea. Prime Minister Netanyahu has two options for them: a cash payment and voluntary deportation for a third African nation, or imprisonment and a lengthy legal process that will end, he says, with them being forcibly deported. Here is the Prime Minister speaking about this controversial decision and his reasons why.
We're talking about 60,000 people. We removed about 20,000, and now the goal is to remove the rest. This year we removed about 4,000, and the big push is to significantly remove most of those who remain as illegal infiltrators in Israel. I think it's important for people to understand that we are doing something completely legal and completely essential.
The question over what to do with these tens of thousands of illegal migrants has been going on for several years. A question that's at the heart of it: are they illegal infiltrators who crossed multiple borders for economic reasons, or are they political refugees escaping war and persecution? Joining me in our studio is Larry Durfiner. Larry's an op-ed writer for Haaretz newspaper, also the author of No Country for Jewish Liberals. Also Golan. She is a Tel Aviv activist, also the CEO of the NGO Hebrew City. Thank you so much, both of you, for being with us. Larry, let me ask you this first question. We heard from the Prime Minister. He says that if it comes down to it, even involuntary deportations are legal and essential. What do you say?
Well, they're certainly not essential. Whether they're legal, under Israeli law, I have no idea. International, I don't know either. But essential, absolutely not. Every country in the world takes in a certain amount of refugees. Why can't Israel do the same? What is so special and so unique about Israel that it cannot stand even one refugee in this country? I don't understand. So it's not essential.
What do you think here, especially the argument about rising crime rates, about the changing demographic in Tel Aviv, the concern of residents for their safety? Do you think it's essential that they need to go?
It's not just essential, it's something that should have happened a long, long time ago. Listen, in the end of the day, we're talking about people who say, okay, let's get some refugees into Israel, but we are not talking about refugees. Eritreans are not refugees, and it's been proven through the entire world. And even if we're saying that they are, South Tel Aviv residents shouldn't take them upon us. And in the end of the day, if we're talking to people that are saying, it's essential to receive them, we're not saying that, what about the women who were raped? What about the men who were assaulted? What about the, we just saw Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu going with two old ladies. One of them is my mother, my 71-year-old mother, who lives in South Tel Aviv for the last 40 years and has been suffering for the last 10 years like she has never imagined. She came from Iraq. She ran for her own country to have one Jewish nation that will protect her. And we're not protected here, because I'm talking to you about a reality when a Jewish person can no longer live in South Tel Aviv. We are living under occupation of those illegal infiltrators. This is their status, illegal infiltrators.
Larry to jump in here as well.
Well, first of all, to say that they're not refugees is not accurate, because about upwards of 80% of the Eritreans and Sudanese who apply for refugee status in foreign countries get accepted.
It's 90%, I believe, in Germany.
Wonderful, 90%.
What about England, that have refused more than 75% of Eritreans? What about Norway and Sweden, Denmark, who sent delegations by Theresa May, who spent over 1 year in Eritrea and in Asmara, and came with one conclusion, and one conclusion alone: there are no refugees in Eritrea. Now, I just want to tell you, in Israel, they like to talk a lot about Sudanese, but we have under 1,000 Sudanese in Israel. The majority of the illegal infiltrators, the tens of thousands, are Eritreans. A country that we have diplomatic relations with, a country that we have an ambassador here and an ambassador there, a country that we do, relations of safety, and we they buy stuff from us, we sell stuff from them. They have 16 universities just in their capital. We are talking about illegal immigrants, and those work migrants are with any doubt want to improve their economic status. But from this to refugees,
to talk about that very
just
central
to say
part
that
of
from
it.
here to refugees is just a lie by those radical left left NGOs who just want to change the Jewish demographic in Israel. That's all.
Okay, that's false. That's just false.
That's just the truth that you can't handle with.
That is a lie.
It's the truth.
No, and if we're radical leftists...
If you were a real humanitarian, you would have taken care of the Filipina I went with to the police. No, if you were a real humanitarian, you would have came with my Filipina women that I walked after she was brutally raped by an Eritrean. But your movements don't care. You get millions and millions by anti-Semitic movements that want to change the demographic of this country. You are anti-Semitic radical leftists. You will not win.
Who produced Baruch Goldstein, who slaughtered 29 people.
Let me try and make it a little more civilized here.
No, you're an idiot.
You're ridiculous.
Too. All right, let me return to the issue again.
This is a humanitarian. He calls me an idiot on live air.
The biggest Jewish fascists in Israel.
To this country.
Let's take a break.
You deal with the worst people in this country.
Let me try to.
You are a disgrace. You've dealt with murderers, Jewish murderers, and you hate black people, and you hate Arabs. I love Jews. I live in this country.
I'm black.
No, you're not. You're a Jewish supremacist. A Jewish supremacist.
This is not.
I'm a racist because I'm an Ashkenazi. You deal with the biggest racists in this country. Your allies are cocknicks.
I wonder if I can jump in here for a question, just so we can.
Haters of black.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the face of the left in Israel.
Listen,
those are
the question. Let me ask this question on a practical level. The question of should they qualify for refugee status? Some nations let them in, others do not. The question, of course, of Israel in particular, a nation of refugees, hundreds of thousands.
Obviously.
Is there an element of racism here, a racial element?
Absolutely not. Let me don't interrupt me. You're a barbarian person. Don't interrupt me.
You're a racist.
I can't answer my question.
I'm keeping an eye on the clock.
You're ridiculous.
All right, let me try this. Put the camera on me for a second because this is getting very heated. I'm going to give each of you a minute. Let's try it this way just so we can make sure we can hear each other clearly. I'm going to give you a minute. Go ahead.
For a Mizrahi woman who's been fighting for the Mizrahi rights, I have been seeing some sort of elitist like the one who's sitting next to me feeling better about themselves when they're talking about black people. Let me tell you, my whole childhood pictures are with black people from Nigeria, from Congo, from other people, from work immigrants, from Nepal, from Philippines, from Thailand. I grew up in Central Bus Station. I know what it means to accept cultures into your life. But when you see people who are fighting for illegal infiltrators, no matter what color they are, just in order to make this country an all civilians country, an all citizens country, an all infiltrators country, they don't care about human rights. They care about changing the Jewish demographic of this country, and the illegal infiltrators are the best tool for them.
All right, thank you for that. That was exactly a minute. That was 1 minute. Now I'm going to give Larry to touch on the points of are these refugees, should they stay, and really the heart of the issue, why they should stay in this country, what's at stake here.
Because there's only about 35,000 of them left, okay?
Lie.
Bullshit, it's a lie. Don't
let Larry, please let's not curse. Larry, talk for a minute.
The number of refugees, the number of people who crossed the border into Israel last year was 0. Okay? There are approximately 37,000 refugees left. Okay? Now don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me.
Don't shout on me.
You can shout too.
You're a chauvinist man.
I'm a chauvinist man. You're a racist. You're a racist. You make me sick.
Larry, please just try to finish the thought here. Go ahead. Just about, in years, yes, there's almost no infiltrations now, but these are
zero last year.
Sure, so the 30,000 are still left.
You told me not to interrupt. You told me not to interrupt you. You're a liar. You told. I'm a hypocrite.
A hypocrite. Where do you live? Tell me where do you live.
I knew she was going to ask. I live in Modi'in. Oh my God! I wish we could take them. I wish we could, but you want to treat them like garbage.
Okay, so we have to leave this issue here. This is an issue. The Israeli government is still.
You see, she's like to get rid of me too. She is a fascist.
All right, so we're going to take a break here. I want to thank our guests. I want to thank you, Maya and Larry, for being part of this discussion. We gave it our best shot to keep it as civilized and informative as possible. But at this point, we are up on a break. All right, Daily Dose viewers from around the world, stay with us. We will be back in just a minute. Thank you guys for staying with us.